Now, Ella Henderson is a multi-platinum selling singer who of course found fame on the X Factor more than 10 years ago. Today though, she's sharing the reality of living with endometriosis, having just gone public with her own diagnosis. It's a condition that causes cells similar to those in the lining of the womb to grow in other parts of the body, and that can just lead to really severe, debilitating pain. But rather than me telling you, Ella, good morning.
Good morning.
You're working with Endometriosis UK, aren't you?
Yes.
Which is why you're here in a way, because you've taken this decision. I mean, presumably your whole family, everybody knew that you had it, but you've decided to go public with it through frustration, partly?
I think partly through frustration, partly the fact that I've lived with this for so long, and I feel like it's kind of, well, it's not a taboo subject once you learn that you have it and you realise how many women around you in your life suffer with it and suffer with this condition in a lot of silence. And for me, I think the process of the diagnosis, to actually find out that this is what was going on with my body and why I was in so much pain or all the symptoms that I had, I think for me, like, it was the feeling of just being believed for the first time and just finding an answer was so empowering.
And so, first of all, A, what are the symptoms of it? And B, what impact has it had on your career, on your personal life?
I mean, my main reason for being here today is for any young girl and any woman of any age, because you can have endometriosis from any age once you start your menstrual cycles, is to know that for me, when I was a teenager, this is my personal experience, I had really bad, heavy periods. But I was always told by doctors and GPs that it was just normal and most teenagers have really heavy periods, and I was often thrown onto things like different forms of contraception and pills, and that was my way of coping. And a lot of the time I was on painkillers a lot as a teenager, and it wasn't till my mid to late 20s, I'm now 29 years old, that the pain just started to get over the years more debilitating. And we thought for years I had bowel issues and there was something going on with my bowels, so I was having lots of tests done on my tummy, really big bloating, heavy periods, pain during or after sex, like really bad pain when you try to go to the toilet.
I mean, none of this is normal.
No.
So why 10 years?
Yeah.
Apparently the average is 7.5, so you even got it worse than the average woman, but 7.5 years is the average time it takes.
Yeah, well, it's actually an average up to 9 years here in the UK, to get a diagnosis of it. And unfortunately, there is no cure at the moment for endometriosis.
Did you get an apology from your gynaecologist, though, once they...
I did. I mean, my gynaecologist has been incredible with me through the journey, because this is the thing, as this condition goes on, you can have symptoms, and that's the only way you can be believed in order to go and have the surgery of keyhole surgery of a laparoscopy. And this is what I really want to advocate for, is to kind of, can we try and get it so young girls and women can have access to have this surgery a lot sooner? Because if you had it a lot sooner, you can just get on with your life.
And so you're saying that laparoscopy is the only way that they actually, an MRI scan, all the other things that they did not discover that you had this lining?
I had MRI scans, CT scans, every blood test under the sun, transvaginal scans, everything. Sorry to be in-depth.
No, we've got a doctor on it.
Absolutely everything. And there was no signs, nothing at all of any endometriosis tissue in my body. The only way we definitively found it was early this January. I finally went under keyhole surgery, which was really daunting, just because I felt at that point like even my gynaecologist was a bit tiresome of me constantly coming back to his office, sitting down and having to be there with these symptoms.
And just to be clear, I think you ended up going private, didn't you? And
I did,
you can afford it, great.
And sat here saying today, I'm in a fortunate position where I could go private. Now, if I was not going private, it would have taken me nearly 7 months to have had this procedure done, and that could have been too late and have irreversible effects on things like fertility.
My goodness. Dr. Amir joins us from his surgery in Bradford. I mean, it's absolutely horrendous, isn't it? And Ella is speaking, thousands of women who go through this? You know, it's affected your work life. You try to go on stage and it's caused you, a huge amount of stress.
That and your mental health.
Mental health.
The biggest thing is that it can lead to develop a lot of early stages of depression, anxiety.
Well, relationship issues.
Relationship issues. You don't have social plans anymore. Your social life goes and everything.
Dr. Amir, can you talk to Ella here and everybody else listening? Why can't women have this laparoscopy surgery to find out whether it's endometriosis at a much, much earlier stage?
It's a really good question. Morning, Ella. Morning, Ranveer. Now, the issue is there's lots of issues in terms of endometriosis and this delay in diagnosis. The first thing Ella highlighted there is medical misogyny. So many times, women's pain is dismissed, minimised, told it's just a normal part of being a woman, and that kind of rhetoric leads to delays in referrals and diagnosis. The only way we have right now to diagnose endometriosis is through laparoscopy. So that's a camera into the pelvis and abdomen under anaesthetic, and lots of the symptoms of endometriosis overlap with other gynecological and abdominal conditions. So women are sent for blood tests, scans, MRI scans in the case of Ella there, and even very severe endometriosis doesn't show up on those scans. And they're told then, well, your scans are normal, your bloods are normal, let's see how you get on. And that leads to even more delays. I think the biggest issue here is trust and believing women when they say they're in pain. Women have to come back and prove over and over again that they're in pain. I've had women here at the surgery who are crying because they haven't been believed because of their condition, and all of that leads to delays. I completely agree. We need to get this sooner. We need to get women referred to gynecology sooner so they can discuss the option of a laparoscopy, and that's the only way to do it. Advocate for yourself and get that referral
and
done.
So, Dr. Amir, because we're just slightly running out of time, are you suggesting and saying that if you are in Ella's position, or your daughter is, or whoever, go into your doctor's surgery and say, I want a laparoscopy? And can you ask for that? Is there patient choice? Can you push for it?
Yeah, so definitely what I would do is trust your symptoms, believe yourself, go and see your doctor, keep a symptom diary, show them that symptom diary, and if things like pain relief and hormonal methods haven't worked, ask for a gynecological referral and say, have you considered endometriosis? The scans and bloods that you've ordered for me haven't shown anything, but that endometriosis won't show on that. Please can I have a gynecological referral? And you are entitled to that.
Thank you, Dr. Amir. And as you say, it sounds to me like you should just ask for it early, because it could still on the NHS take you 7 months to get seen anyway.
Yeah.
Don't wait till you're absolutely desperate, isolated.
Absolutely. It's just a difficult one to diagnose and to understand even yourself. There's a lot of confusion and frustration around this condition. I think ultimately, as well, what needs to be advocated for and what we need to make happen, and working with Endometriosis UK as a charity, is to try and educate A&E doctors, even pharmacists and even teachers in schools, to make sure it's getting implemented, like this education on menstrual health from a young age, so then things like this don't have to happen down the line later for young girls.
Right, very quickly, you're going on tour?
Yes.
Music?
Yes, I am.
There is a bit of music going on.
I'm going on tour, I am going on tour. Finally feel fit and healthy and back on my feet. I'm going on tour in September with One Republic. We're doing a European arena tour, and there's still tickets on sale.
And they wrote also a single, didn't they?
Yeah, it's like a full 360. Do you know what? I'm 29 and coming into my 30s soon. I feel like there's a lot of big changes and big things happening right now in my life, both personally and through my work. So this is a very 360 moment, going back on the road with someone that I wrote my very first single with. So yeah.
I won't ask you about when you're getting married, because everyone's asking you. At some point, she will get married. Right, lots of love. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Good stuff. Right, after the break, we have Loose Woman royalty in the studio. Colleen